I knew from a very early age that I wanted to be a writer. I think the first time that I wrote for myself was when I was 13. I wrote fan fiction for Teen Titans. It was pretty well reviewed, and I still think the plot was pretty good, but the grammar was just awful. The formatting was really weird, and I had a lot of growing to do. I say all that because growth and writing are key themes in the book Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I was curious about the conversation of this 2013 book, so I went online and was kind of surprised to see a lot of mixed reviews, good and bad. When it came time to write this review, I thought, wait a minute, there are some things that I have issues with, and that'll kind of bubble to the surface. So I'm going to talk about everything, both good and bad. The quick synopsis is that Kath is a socially anxious girl who is balancing her freshman year of college with her Harry Potter fan fiction, or Simon Snow as it is in this universe. Kath has a twin sister, Ren, who is growing apart from her. Kath has a roommate, Reagan, who is somebody who she has nothing in common with. Reagan has a boyfriend named Levi who's constantly bugging them at their dorm room. Kath has a writing partner named Nick, who they meet with a lot at the library. Kath has a dad who's living by himself for the first time, and Kath has a writing teacher who is trying to teach her, to mentor her, to move on from fan fiction and learn to write real fiction. There are three things I want to talk about here: the relationships, the writing, and the character growth. The relationships between characters are the best part of this book, and it's what you're going to get the most of. Rowell writes really good dialogue, and the characters are all well defined, if a little cliche. I never miss one conversation for very long because another thread, another character comes in, and that is just as interesting as the last one. It's a really tasty breadcrumb trail that always kept me coming back. Kath's and maybe Rainbow Rowell's thoughts on writing, though, there's a lot to unpack. I think I'm going to put this over here. Eh? Should do that all the time. I've seen criticisms that have said, I cannot believe that Kath turned in fan fiction for her fiction class homework. How dumb is she? But I don't really think that's the takeaway. I don't think that is the part that you should be complaining about, because getting an F on that assignment and having that be called plagiarism, that's the starting point. That's what's going to kick her into change. She needs that slap in the face to tell her that fan fiction is a stepping stone that will make her a better writer and find her own voice. What happens next also makes sense, though. Her worldview is shaken and her greatest talent is questioned. She wants to quit. She wants to ignore everything. She wants to not write anymore. But that self-doubt is the rest of the book. All of the character relationships progress and all of the characters change, except for Kath, the main character. She does not change. She's given a task to do in the second part, and it takes her way too long to do it because of this arrested development. And all the while, there is this insistence that fan fiction is the only thing that Kath can write, and that her teacher is wrong for making her not write it. Now, let me be clear about fan fiction. There are ways to monetize it, right? Like DC and Marvel Comics basically are fan fiction that are dubbed as canon. Even a lot of fiction books here on the shelf, like Rainbow Rowell herself has written some books in the Simon Snow universe that came from Harry Potter fan fiction. But it is largely a stepping stone so that the writer can go on to build new worlds or deeply explore their own. And I don't think this is ever accepted by Kath, which is a shame because she is a great writer in the book. And she knows techniques and strategies that I wish that I knew when I was a freshman English student. Finally, I want to mention the fan fiction that is in this book. There's excerpts all throughout, and I think it would be very entertaining for die-hard Potter fans. But I'm not one of those, so I just kind of glazed over. But I did notice, though, that there's a lot of attention to detail in these fan fiction parts. Like, all of these 8 fictional books are really well, plotted, and it makes sense that Rainbow Rowell went on to write books set in that universe. I wanted this book to be my favorite book, but the static main character just held it back for me a little bit. I give Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell a rating of Return It. Check it out by all means. There's a lot to enjoy here, but if you haven't finished it by the due date, don't feel obligated to renew. You can check out Fangirl here at the R.W. Thomas Library if you're an SGHS student, or you can find it, I've seen it very well stocked at public libraries, digital libraries, and it's actually pretty relevant this year because a new manga adaptation has come out from Sam Maggs, and I'm paging through that, and it's nice. It's fun to see all the characters that I like drawn on the page. I could probably talk about this for a long time still. I didn't even get to talk about the fight that she has with her writing partner. If you think that I should make like a spoilery part 2 or something, just let me know in the comments. Next time, we're going to be talking about Neanderthal Opens the Door to the Universe by Preston Norton, which I'm very excited to talk about. But until then, my name is Name. Thank you for watching. Peace to you, and imagine on.